Hi there, today I've got Shannon here with me from Property Assist, and we're going to have a little chat and help some self-managing landlords with regards to property condition reports. So just giving them some information that would be really helpful for them in ensuring they have a smooth start of the tenancy and obviously then smooth conclusion at the end of the tenancy, because the property condition report is the document that you would use at the start and the end of the tenancy. So. Thanks so much for coming in today.
No worries, thank you.
So what we do here at Peterborough and Associates is we do end-to-end management, but we do also offer leasing only. So for any of landlords that are looking for leasing only, part of the setup process that we do is having property condition reports done as part of the leasing process at the start. It's really important for us that both tenants and landlords are getting that tenancy set up correctly. And so that property condition report is a really integral part of making sure that that's
great, making sure they're fully equipped for what's ahead of the whole, the year or the 6 months or whatever.
Yeah. And it is one of those things that quite often landlords don't necessarily want to take on themselves, because there are, parameters with regards to timelines around property condition reports, which is what we're going to have a chat about today. So, things like when you do your property condition report, when do you have to give it to the tenant? When do they have to have it back to you by? So we're going to have a bit of a chat now about that. So I guess first of all, starting right at the start, when's the best time to do that property condition report?
That date of the inspection, what's going to be on there. So we always suggest to do it the day before the tenant moves into the property. I think then nothing's changed. With the property. It's not got dusty, there's no differences, nothing like that. I think we have had a few private landlords before that may have done the property condition report the week before,
and it's a bit too far out, and you can have weeds pop up, or cobwebs, turn up. So.
Or they've sort of thought, I'll just touch up this paint here and get rid of these chips, and then they forget that they actually then have to update that property condition report so that it is exactly what the tenant moved into, and then that of course causes problems at the final bond inspection. So I think the main thing is making sure that it's clean and that all of the maintenance is fully completed before that property condition report is done, and definitely just the day before the tenant moves in. Why not?
That's
just
a really good point, actually. I think with the cleaning and making sure that everything is completed. Because if you've gone to all that effort to make sure the property's clean and in good order, you want to make sure that that's what the property condition report is documenting. So, and then the other point that you made about doing it the day before, I guess if you feel like that's a bit too much of a tight timeline, even 2 days before, but I think anything more than 2 or 3 days before, you will be a little bit premature with that. So
absolutely.
And then of course, once that's been completed, you are required to give your tenant a copy of the property condition report, and they then have 7 days to make their amendments and get it back to you. So, and then once the property condition reports come back, you then have to check it, make sure any amendments that have been made you're comfortable with. Perhaps it might be a good opportunity to contact the tenant and say, I've noticed that you've made a comment on the report, can I come have a look at that, and make sure that it is working or it's not dirty.
Make sure you're all on the same page, I think. And I guess even when you do deliver that report to the tenant, you need to provide them with 2 copies. So a lot of landlords don't realise that, I think. They just hand one over and hope that it comes back. So hand over 2 copies and make sure you sign it and the tenants sign it, and then they make those amendments and you discuss any with them that they might return. So so at least you've done everything you can by giving them a reminder at 3 or 4 days. I think that's a good point too.
So hopefully you found that helpful, and the tips and the things that we've just discussed around timelines make sure that you can set up your self-managing tenancy really well. So thanks again for coming in, and if you've got any other questions, Shannon and myself are available to assist you.